let me get to some really important shit. Our Black Sexcellence, which we have 2 segments that got named by people that listen to the show. Hors d'oeuvre for one was by, I think, Latasha, right?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Or is that episode? And Black Sexcellence by Omari.
Yeah.
So Lori Lightfoot is who we're covering today, a former prosecutor with no experience in elected office. She has swept all 50 of Chicago's wards in the 2019 mayor runoff election after promising to end the city's backroom dealing. She is the first ever Black female mayor and the first ever LGBTQ plus mayor. Yeah, I think that's dope as fuck.
That's a lot.
People talk about Lori. I ain't gonna lie. I barely know our mayor, so I just be trying to keep track of where the fuck I'm at. But I've definitely heard about
I'm
Lori.
real bad with politics.
Huh?
Apparently, I'm bad with everything.
Well, I know I've heard of Lori just because she's a Black woman mayor, but
Thank you.
anyway.
I try to keep up. You know what I mean? Like, I was talking on our show last week about Cuomo, and you heard about Cuomo, right?
Yeah, with the sexual harassment, with the nursing home shit. I think it was 6,300 people they said that died, and it was really 15,000 people in nursing homes that died. They were like covering that up, but they're saying it was his aides and not him.
And he had the kiss that was not consented to. That shit.
Yeah, they all been fucking up.
You know what happens is how I get involved in politics.
But he's
is,
governor, not mayor.
Yeah. Like how I get involved in this is because like there's the intersectionality of how things relate to stuff. Like for example, I'm also a BIPOC AIC member. I have a background in the adult film industry. You know what I mean? And like how certain things factor into things like legislation, SESTA, FOSTA, how that affects everybody. You know, that affects if you just think about your social media, what we're trying to get across is whether you're a sex worker or not, the censorship is going to affect everybody.
Yeah,
What
shout out to
hashtag
Mistress
you can't
Marley. Her
use,
page is gone now too.
Who gets shadow banned and such like this. So this is not just what we want to do is when from the political space, I want everybody to understand it's not so much an attack on sex workers, it's an attack on liberty and free speech. Because this is going to seep into how everybody gets to freely express themselves and be who they are. If we all going to do, like, do you heard about what the fuck happened in Utah?
No.
We're going to talk about this on our show. There's
Sister
a
Wives.
filter. There's a filter that a politician passed. A woman, she don't even have any experience in politics. She started off as a realtor, and they passed this so that they're requiring the servers to filter porn in that state. So that's like the first step of
Wait.
what we can see, what you can get.
So I can have 8 fucking wives, but I can't watch porn?
No, yeah. Have you seen The Wives?
Did you know that in Utah for sister wives, right? It's illegal, but the fine or whatever what can happen to you is lower than a traffic ticket.
Wow.
If you get caught like having more than one wife.
I just think that's interesting because I think there's still just a separation between
Church
and state. And I think that's the thing with Utah is that a lot of them follow their religious beliefs. And so even if they go about that way of life, I don't think everyone is on paper. And I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but
they're not, but you can.
Yeah, they're not on paper.
You can.
So how are you following
that's how you get the
religious
fine.
doctrine?
I did an episode on For Fact's Sake. What the fuck was it about? I can't remember, but we talked about that. And when in that conversation, it was like, it isn't legal to do, but apparently you can just go up there and be like, I'm married to this person, this person, this person, so they could take your name, right? Nobody's really checking all these documents. Right. And if you get caught, it's like a traffic ticket. And you know why? Because it's white people doing it and they saving their friends.
Exactly.
And not that I don't want people to have 8 wives. I'm just saying what I'm saying. But anyway,
Stop censoring folks. Let people do.
Not to get too deep, but I do want to talk about SESTA FOSTA for a second because I really didn't understand. Shout out to Lisa Spliffson, Carmen Life, or I think Carmen Knife is also her name, Madam Nambio.
I gotta send this article to you.
She's a dom that told me, because I didn't really understand SESTA FOSTA too much. I thought it was made to quote unquote help people and sex workers and help save human trafficking. But really what it's done is the complete opposite. And a lot of people, especially Democrats, were voting for it because they thought it would help save people. And really what it's done is remove so many websites, cross-referencing websites you can do for like escorting or whatever.
We talked about this in depth with, if you guys want to go to the Raquel Savage episode, we talked about this in depth there. I think we've talked about this in depth with quite a few of the sex workers.
I mean, you brought it back up because I hadn't really heard much about it. I just know some people had fought for Sesta Foster, and then I kind of didn't hear shit. But since that episode, like within the last 6 months to a year, it has literally taken women to street walking and put them in like way more jeopardy. And what's ironic is they did that to stop human trafficking, like removing it from online, when now being in person and being on the street has really made women disappear. So it's crazy how we thought this whole time we were voting for advocacy. Sorry.
Voting for advocacy. All right. So with like organizations like BIPOC AIC, also there is a union dedicated to protecting sex workers. You can talk to about APA union. Alana Evans actually runs this organization. If you have your OnlyFans taken down, or if you get shadow banned on Instagram, you can actually talk to Alana Evans about that. But legislation needs to look more like getting the law on the sides of these women, because things should be different. A sex worker shouldn't have to be afraid to report if she gets assaulted or such. She should be entitled to getting, when I say sex workers, their strippers are actually considered independent contractors, so they get no benefits. They get nothing that everybody who works a 9 to 5 is entitled. They need to be included in the labor conversation. They are contributing members to this because OnlyFans, they charge your taxes. So sex workers pay into the economy, but they get no representation. And a lot of what they do gets criminalized. So we need the law to be on the side of them so that they don't get exploited, they don't get taken advantage of, so that they deserve to have a safe working place where they get compensated just like everybody else.
And 20% of their wages are already fucking taken by the website on top of the taxes. That
Exactly.
Not to mention, porn and sex work is such a major contributor to the economy. How do you criminalize it so ferociously?
The same way they did marijuana.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look at now it's all of the benefits in the world, and it's so great for your fucking knee.
And they're letting the white people
which
do
is
it.
what sex is.
But they're letting the white people blaze the trails, just like how Weezy talked about with Bella Thorne. And
that's exactly why they had to do the Rockefeller law.
Millions and millions of OnlyFans.
Now, if you guys don't know who Bella Thorne is, she basically made an OnlyFans, and people were very angry about it. You can watch the OnlyFans documentary on Hulu. They're not paying us to say that, but seriously, I learned a lot from that, because in that documentary, they talk about how she basically went on, 1 million people joined, or she made 1 million the first day, and then said, oh, by the way, I'm not getting naked. And a lot of sex workers were very angry.
Ruby Rose did the same thing.
Well, no, did she lie?
She literally was reposting her Instagram pictures. She made it seem like it was nude. She put a thing over it. It was a bra she was wearing and panties. She was not nude on there the whole time, and she did the same thing with her following.
I mean, at least Cardi B was like, I'm not going to show my pussy. But with Bella Thorne, people felt like it was very trivial. No, I changed the pay scale of how sex workers, OnlyFans.
It did.
I would say the problem with that is the problem with that is she got on OnlyFans, the same with Ruby Rose, the same with all of these celebrities. They make an OnlyFans account, and because of the stigma now attached to OnlyFans, you automatically think that you're going onto OnlyFans to see fucking sucking or naked, or someone being naked. So just because, and I don't want to put blame on her, because if she falsely advertised, hey, I'm going to be sucking dick, or hey, you can see my vagina on OnlyFans, I would get it. But the problem is, she made an OnlyFans that carried the stigma, specifically last year in the pandemic, that people were going on there to make money, but they were selling their bodies, they were selling sex. And so she went on there, which we know was actually a platform that was similar to Patreon, where y'all go ahead and join our Patreon, patreon.com/Whoreible Decisions.
Hey,
but
join ours too.
You know what I mean? But the problem is that because of the stigma it carried, people were like, oh my God, sex workers were upset that she made that money. But you also had to, because they automatically assumed.
But the pay scale is a big thing though, because when you have celebrities pillage a fucking platform, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I wanted to get at.
That is the real problem. Like if I was getting paid a certain way and now I can't even have my earnings because of an influx or whatever, like that's fucked up. It's the same Robin Hood shit with stocks. You know what I'm saying? You let these motherfuckers do it, but when little men get into it, no. Like, but anyway, I say all that to say, Bella Thorne, I actually liked her. I thought she was fun. She's kind of started to annoy me. And today I just heard her new song. I just want you guys to hear it.
Wait. Okay, sure.
Is she not an actor? I don't be knowing shit about white people.
This is copyrighted music.
That's really her?
Okay, cool.
Why she move? Why she shake it?
That sounds like some shit you would love.
Nigga,
like you would probably clean your house.
You would probably love that.
That sounds like shit.
That sounds like some Weezy shit, right?
100%.
Is it really?
100%.
Yeah.
That you know what? That goes back
Thank
to
you, Adam.
what you were saying about price gouging and getting the value of things taken down. That was horrible.
That sounds like some shit
used to
people
be
who don't know how to make
awesome.
macaroni
I think when
salad
you get
fuck with,
famous,
man.
they just
Yeah.
keep trying to make you famous,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like people are like, I think I told you the other day, Charlamagne was like, you and Mandii need to do a book. And I was like, really? I feel like y'all gonna say we need a perfume next or a candle. Like,
Everybody
I
out there
would
watching
smell
and
it.
listen, that was the first thing I asked. I was like, yo, is it Whoreible Decisions book? I feel like right behind
no,
me.
but I am currently writing a book.
Hey.
So
Hey,
I'll go ahead and throw that out there. I don't know when it's going to drop. It's probably going to have to come out after our hard deal. But I am currently working on a book.
congrats.
Ooh, nice.